Well, good morning, everybody. I figured it's probably about time to update my channel since I haven't had any videos in a couple of years. I kind of dropped the ball. It's been a good couple of years. The weather's been a little silly. This year, 2014, we had like the latest spring ever. It was like, what, like 3 or 4 weeks late. So, but the crops have been phenomenal this year. You'll see this is my Cortland apple tree. We've got 11 apples on here. This tree is about 4 years old now, and it actually produced a whole lot more apples than this. I ended up snipping them all off because I didn't want to stunt the growth of this tree too badly. Really wanted to ensure the size, because in 2013 the apples were all kind of small. So, but this year you'll see, you know, these are good sized apples. Here's one here. I mean, these are all just beautiful apples this year. This is probably the biggest one, but they're all, and then they're also laying almost on the ground down on the bottom branches. Okay, my wife's taking the dogs for a walk. Yeah, some of these are like 6 to 12 inches off the ground, so those branches I imagine I should probably snip off in the next pruning, but I'm very pleased with how this tree's turning out. Yeah, it does have really strange growth. There's a whole blank area on the right side of the tree, but oh well, you know. Another nice thing about this tree I do have is this branch here. Oh, did I just break a leaf off? Oops. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. This is Hudson's Golden Gem on here. I did a graft. Well, geez, it's been a year and a half now. Right here, there's a graft. Healed up nice. And then I have Hudson's Golden Gem on this branch as well. This one right here. So, again, the graft took real well. Oh, wait, is that the one? No, it's not. It's this one down here that I have weighted down. But anyways, somewhere in here there's a graft. It's in there. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to have multiple varieties on this tree. What I'm real excited about is this is the first year I've had Sweet 16 apples on this tree here. And these apples they're getting bigger by the day here. There's 5 apples on this tree, so I'll get to taste my first homegrown Sweet 16s. These are enormous. These apples are said to have a slight like licorice, black licorice flavor. So here we go. Now this one, it got dinged up by the post here a little bit, I can see. I didn't see that till today. But yeah, it's these apples are so big. It's a good thing I have this chicken wire fencing here holding them up, because otherwise they'd be dragging on the ground like the Cortlands. Look how much this is weighted down here. It's just bouncing here. So beautiful apples though. I'm very happy with my apple crop this year. I also had a tremendous crop of hops this year. Now the cherry, I didn't get any cherries this year. The birds stole them all. There weren't that many anyways. There's only a dozen of them or something. But the hops, you'll see these, the ones on the left here, they fell down the trellis. They just slid down the ropes there. But that was fine. They were a lot easier to pick that way. But I got the biggest crop ever. You know, wet weight was like a pound or something, and then several ounces dried. I also got my first gooseberries this year. I think there was only like 4 or 5 on the whole plant, but This plant was about 2 or 3 times bigger, but I followed all the rules and stuff for pruning gooseberries. You're supposed to trim them way back in the summer so that they'll have more fruit buds in future years, or something to that effect. So that's why it looks so tiny now. It was a lot bigger. This is a Hinomaki red gooseberry. Then my raspberries, gosh, I had millions of raspberries this year. This one tiny little potted plant turned into this big bush, and it's spreading all over creation here. So these are all, now there's lilacs mixed in here too, because this is a big lilac. But most of the bright green you see down here is raspberries. That season is long over. We picked our last ones probably at the, I don't know, end of July, early August, something like that. So, but it's been a pretty good year. I'm happy with how the orchard is turning out. My only somewhat disappointment is the Honeycrisp tree here. This thing is enormous. I'm starting to think it really isn't a Honeycrisp, because it hasn't produced a single apple, not a single blossom. But that's a beautiful globular shaped tree. I like the shape of the tree. I just wish that all these tiny little these little spiky buds, I wish they would actually do something, but they're not. So maybe 2015 will be the year. I don't know. I'm thinking not. I think this is a mistake kind of a tree. It didn't have a grafting scar when I planted it, so I think it might be a mistake seedling. So it might not produce anything for 8 or 9 years from planting, and then when it does, they might be just crappy apples. But we'll see eventually. It's a fun little experiment anyways, and you know what? I love to make cider, so cider. That's a good cider tree right there. It'll produce a gazillion apples eventually, and I will make cider of them. Oh yes.